consider a statement to be true, and it is not just by solving alone, but we have to consider that all of the conditions or the conditions would satisfy to all possible values of n, of or of all that of all the terms rather. Okay, do you have your proving when you were in junior high school? May proving may proving ba kayo when you were in high school? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Wala kayong proving class?
Wala po, sir.
Wala,
Wala.
sir.
Okay, sige. But you encountered formulas? Nag-solve ba kayo ng formula ng area, formula ng perimeter, circumference? You had that when you were in junior high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Those formulas that were used are proven to be true. That is why, di ba, for example, if you are going to find for the area of a square, that is A is equal to S square, where you will just find or determine the measurement of one side, then substitute that to S, then square that for you to solve the area of a square. And that formula has proven to be true to all possible values of sides of a square. For the circumference, C is equal to 2 pi r, or C is equal to pi d, where pi is equal to 3.14. It is also proven to be correct and to be used for finding the circumference of a circle. For this afternoon, we're going to learn how to prove how formula has to be proven in order for that to be used later in solving a problem. Mathematical induction. I don't know if this is familiar or not familiar to you. The mathematical induction. When we say mathematical induction, it is a principle for proving certain mathematical theorems, propositions, or formula. It is a technique used to establish a given mathematical statement for all natural numbers. A form of direct proof, mathematical induction involves two parts. The base case, the first part, which is the base case, this part aims to prove that the given statement holds for n is equal to 1. It could be for n equals to 1, n equals to 2, n equals to 3, or up to what value of n we're going to try to prove that it is correct or the statement is true. For the second step, the inductive step, this part aims to prove that if the given statement holds for some natural number n, then it implies the statement is also true for the succeeding natural number n plus 1. So in the second step, you are going to show that it is true to the succeeding possible terms. Diba? Last time we have series. Then we're looking for patterns. Then later on, we'll have an example of this. This principle is analogous to the principle of domino effect. That is, dominoes are aligned and erected so that when the first one falls, the next domino will follow to fall. Consequently, if the second domino falls, the third will follow, and so on. It means to say, Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
In first part where you're going, diba, we have two parts, the base case. You're going to show here that n is equal to 1 to be correct, and sometimes it is correct, but when you are going to, okay, for base case, n equals to 1, correct. N equals to 2, correct. N equals to 3, correct. But that would not be enough to say that the statement is correct. You have to prove again using the inductive step where you have to test this to all possible values of n or possible values of x, where uh, and you are going to go beyond for what is given in the problem. And if this in this if in the second part would still hold to be true, then we can consider that statement to be true. But if in the base case alone, example, n equals 1, correct. N equals 2 is correct. But n equals 3 is wrong, then no need for you to proceed to the second part, the inductive step, because that would mean that the statement is already false. So once it is proven to be wrong, even in the first part, then do not proceed or do not continue the proving. You can write immediately a conclusion that the statement is false. Since like this, since n equals to 2 is false. Example only. The bottom line here is if even in the first part of the solution or even if the first part of the proving is already false, then do not proceed to the next step. But again, if it is true in the first two, second, and third conditions, then proceed until the second part, the longer yung the climax part of the proof. Hindi siya pwedeng only two or three cases would you can already conclude that it is true. Okay. Example, you have to focus on how it is done and think beyond of what think beyond if possible. This is not a typical solution like you're going to solve, tingnan kung ano yung given, then solve, then like solving linear equation. You have to think beyond. Excuse me for a while, guys. Hey, next. Okay, sandali lang class. Read first the problem, then analyze. Give me 1 minute. May ginagawa ako. Sandali lang class ha. Okay, so in example 1, you are going to prove that the sum of the first n consecutive positive integers is equal to 1/2 of n times n plus 1. What does it mean? Anong ibig sabihin yan? When we say the sum of the first consecutive positive integers is if we are going to add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 up to whatever possible number of n you are going to solve. Say for instance, if the number of terms, yung n is number of terms. When we say the number of terms is 3, meaning to say the numbers here are 1, 2, and 3. And if we're going to add that, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3. And what is 1 plus 2 plus 3? Anybody? What is 1 plus 2 plus 3?
6.
Sino
6
yung,
po.
who answered
6 po.
first? Who answered first? Sino yung
Minyosa.
nag-answer? Again, Minyosa. Okay. Walang mag-react. Si Minyosa yung unang nagsagot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, what if n is equal to 5? What would be the sum? N is equal to 5. What would be the sum? Anybody?
15.
Sino yan?
Minyosa.
Minyosa pa rin? Walang iba? Anybody? Okay, but Minyosa, I will just consider one recitation. The answer is 15. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and that would give you 15. Now, what if n is 100 or n is 1000? Is it possible for us to solve or find the value of the sum of those numbers? So here in our problem, we are going to find a formula, and it is suggested here that the formula would be n is equal to, it is equal to 1/2 of n times n, the quantity of n plus 1. Yun daw ang gagamitin natin in order for us to find the sum. Now, for us to accept that to be true, then we need to prove it using mathematical induction. Dapat i-prove natin na talagang tama ang ating formula na gagamitin, so that later on, if there will be problems similar to this, you are going to find where the sum of the numbers, then you can use, instead of adding the numbers, yung 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 add up to 100, you can just use the formula for easier solutions. Okay. How are we going to prove this? Diba, sinabi kanina, we have two parts. Okay, the first part, we are going to assign if n is equal to 1. So when we say n is equal to 1, the number of term is only 1, and that should be the first term. And the first term is 1. So 1 1/2, just substitute. Then 1/2, 1 plus 1 is 2. Half. So 1 is equal to 1. Did you understand the solution? Naintindihan ba ang solution? If n is equal to 1, then 1, the number of term is only 1. It is not the value of what's this? Sa left side, n is the number of terms. So the number of term is 1, meaning to say you have to consider the first number, which is 1. So 1 is equal to, and on the right side, since n is equals to 1, then substitute 1 to n on the right side of the equation. So that is 1/2 of 1 times 1 plus 1. Then that is 1/2, 1, then 1 plus 1 is 2, then 1 is equal to 1/2 times 2, then 1 is equal to 1. Okay, next. Since the left and the right side of the equation are both equal to 1, therefore that is true. The formula is true for now, but this is not yet enough to prove or to show that this statement is true. We will try another value of n. We're going to let n to be equal to 2. When we say n is equal to 2, then it means that the number of terms is 2. And that is, and those are the first and the second numbers, which are 1 and 2. Therefore, on the left side of the equation, that would be 1 plus 2. Did you understand? Naintindihan bakit 1 plus 2 na siya ngayon?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then, substitute only 1 half of n is 2, so that is, then 2 plus 1. Then 1 plus 2, then okay, look at the solution. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, since the left side and the right side of the equation are both equal to 3, then still true. But again, not yet enough to conclude that it is already true. Hindi pa rin sure na we can use the formula in solving later. Next. If n is equal to 3, and it means that when we say n is equal to 3, the number of terms are 3, is 3 rather. So 1 plus 2 plus 3. And it is not always 1 plus 2 plus 3. It will depend dito sa ating given. Kasi later on, meron tayong iba't ibang pattern. So for now, it is 1 plus 2 plus 3 because it is given here in our problem. Then on the right side, just substitute the value of n, which is 3. So that is 1 half of 3 times 3 plus 1. Then 6 is equal to 1 half of 3 times 4. So 6 is equal to 1 half of 12. 6 is equal to 1 half of 12 is equal to 6. The left and the right sides of the equation are both equal to 6, so it is true, but not yet enough to prove that the statement is already true. So only for the first part, because sometimes if n equals to 1 is true, correct, but n equals 2 could be false, or n equals to 3 is false. Then if that will happen, no need to proceed to part 2. But here in our solution, 1, 2, and 3 are true, so we can now proceed to the part 2 of the prove it. In part 2, we will now assign a variable. Kasi 'di ba sa formula, mga letters lang 'yan. So what if we don't know the number of or the value of n? Usually yun naman ang ginagamit sa formula because we don't know the value, then we will just substitute it, depends on the given sa problem. So since in our problem the variable is n, then we will use another variable. You can use letter m, you can use letter x, or any variable you want to. So for now, I'll be using k. And of course, in your solutions, para uniform na lang, you can use also, just use k. for uniform answers. So, what if it is k? The value of n is k. So, we'll have 1 plus 2 plus 3. Look at the given ha, yung dito sa proof part. 1 plus 3 plus up to, instead of n, in our given, substitute that to k because our n is equal to k. Palitan lang natin ng k. So, 1 half times k plus 1. Okay. I'll give you 30 minutes. Tingnan lang ang part na yan. Tingnan ang 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus and 1 half, 30 seconds. 1 half k and k plus 1.
Sige na.
Okay. So this part here, when n is equal to k, we substituted n to be k. So that is why nagiging k yan. And this is just the same as what it is given. Dito sa taas, di ba? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n. Then 1 half of n. Then plus n plus 1. Anong nangyari? Nilagyan lang, pinalitan lang siya ng k. So this is, di ba, we're going to prove that that is correct. Now, suppose it is correct. Suppose it is correct na, given that it is correct based dito sa ating problem. Now, to prove this more, we need to go beyond. If n is the last, if n or if k is the last number, siya na yung pinaka-last na positive number. And it is assumed to be correct based from the given. Now, we are going to go beyond or extend more, di ba? After 1, it is 2. After 2, it is 3. We are adding one number. So therefore, if the last number is k, then the next number would be k plus 1. Did you understand? We are going beyond.
What?
Kasi ang pattern natin, you will just add 1 to the next number. If the last number is k, then the next to that k is k plus 1. So, if we will add more number to this given, after k, so that is k plus 1, s of k plus 1, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus the given last number, which is k, plus going beyond k, which is k plus 1. Kanina k ang last number, nagdagdag pa tayo ng isa, kaya nagiging k plus 1. Bakit k plus 1? We don't know the value of k, so we will just write it as k plus 1. The important here is, the idea is, after the next digit is you will add 1 because of the given pattern. Kasi 1, then the next number is 2, then the next number is 3, the possible next number is 4, then 5, and so on. So k, if the last number is k, the next number would be k plus 1. So that is why we have here 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to k, then the next of k is k plus 1. On the right side of the equation, since it is k plus 1, then we will change k, all of the k here, by k plus 1. So we'll have k plus 1, then k is k plus 1, palitan, then plus 1 dito daan, yung plus 1. Tingnan, 1 half, the k is changed to k plus 1, then k is k plus 1, then plus 1. Question.
What the fuck? And substitute the k.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's continue. Now, look at the from 1
1
up
plus
to
2
k.
plus 3,
From 1 up to k.
2, 3.
Okay, that part. 1 up to k. Saan natin yan siya makita? If you're going to look at this, 1 plus 2 plus 3, it is dito sa ating first step sa part 2. 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to k is the same as 1 half of k times k plus 1. Nakikita ninyo yung equation sa taas? That 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to k is 1 half of k plus 1. So meaning to say, we can just substitute this to 1 half of k, 1 half of k times k plus 1 plus, okay, k plus 1 is equal to 1 half of k plus 1, then times, remove the grouping symbol, k plus 1 plus 1. Look at
K
the
plus
equation.
1.
Sige, tanong kung mayroong tanong kasi yung part na yan ay medyo confusing na. Are you still with me? 11 Dagalea?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if naintindihan ninyo or hindi pa kayo nakikinig. I don't know, ha? But if there are questions, because this is quite confusing, if there are questions, do not be afraid to ask questions. So from there, we will now, ito, gagamitan na ito ng algebra. You are going to simplify both left and right sides of the equation. So 1 half of k plus 1, that is, left side muna tayo, that is 1 half of, or that is k times k plus 1 over 2. Diba? Fraction, numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. Plus, k plus 1 is equal to 1 half of k plus 1, then that is k plus 2. I'll give you 30 seconds to read. Tingnan yan. If there are questions, you may ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask questions. If you want some clarifications about the steps. Okay. Uy, nag-play pala. Okay. Now, in this part, you are going to combine now or simplify. Since in the left side of our equation, we have fraction and a whole number, then we will be using the idea of LCD. And remember LCD, the LCD of this is 2. So the shortcut way for LCD is you will just multiply the denominator to the whole number. So here, walang denominator ang k plus 1. So the denominator is 2. Then you will just multiply this to
Plus
2 to k plus 1. Then we will have now
2
the common denominator,
k
which is 2. The LCD,
plus 1
concept of LCD. Then if
over
we have k plus 1, k plus 2,
k
then over 2. It is easy to simplify the right side, or we don't have the LCD in the right side because that is multiplication. In multiplication, you can just directly multiply the numerator by numerator, denominator by denominator. No more LCD. But for addition, same in the negative side of our equation, then you have to find the LCD if it is addition or subtraction. Now, simplify. That is distribute k to k plus 1. That
K
is
square.
k squared plus k, then 2k plus 2.
A squared plus 1 plus
Then
plus 1
k
plus
dyan, foil
2k
method,
plus
2k
2k
plus
plus
1k or k plus 2.
if is equals to
Then simplify.
k squared plus 2k plus k plus
That is k squared plus
1
3k plus 2 over 2. Then k squared plus 3k
k
plus
squared
2
plus
over 2. That
3k
okay.
plus 2 plus 2 over 2
Since the left and the right side of the equation
k
are equal, they're
squared
both equal to k
plus
squared plus 3k plus 2 over 2, then our statement is true or correct. Dapat balance. Sige, screenshot. Then I'll give you 1 minute. Tingnan ang solution. Screenshot because I'll be asking questions later.
She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. I swear I say I do. Baby, you daughter and make you my wife. Oh, baby,
Okay.
you know that.
So now, I hope you have your calculator, you have your paper and pen, because if you want to recite, just tell me your name, then give me the answer. What is the sum? Still, ito pa yun ha. Ito pa rin yung 1 plus 2 plus 3. Positive, the sum of the first uh, consecutive positive integers. What if n is equal to 6? N is equal to 6. Who wants to answer?
Suryaga.
It's Riyaga. What is your answer?
21 po.
21. How did you do it?
6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus
That is 6 plus 5 plus
4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 po.
okay. So that is, or 1 plus 2, which is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Plus 6 is 21. Correct. Suryaga, Z Baday or S?
S po, S.
S. Okay. Thank you. If you have other answers, ibang answer sa 21, you may tell me para we can check if whose answer is correct. Pag wala, agree kayo, then the answer is 21. I am also checking here if it is correct, and it is really 21. Now, what if n is equal to 10? N is, sino yan?
Sakali.
Asa Ali. The answer is
55. 55.
how did you do it?
By adding po 1 to
Sige.
10.
So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 10. Okay. Meron bang mag-disagree na it is 55? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, wala. What if n is 50? N is 50. Kaya pa? give you 2 minutes. If you can find the sum of when n is equal to 50. Anybody? N is equal to 50.
Harakan pa, sir.
Arakan. What's the answer?
1,305.
1,305. 1,000. I'll be writing here or baka meron pang 1,305. Any other answer? Meron pa ba?
Sir,
Yes?
Dubai po,
Dubai?
1,275.
1,000. Paano mo ginawa?
Yung formula po, sir.
Okay. So, paano yung formula, Dubai?
1/2 of 50 times 50 plus 1.
Okay. So, 1/2 of 50, which is 25. Then, 50 plus 1 is 51. So, that is 25 times 51. If you have your calculator, that is 1,275. Very good. So, that is the purpose now of the formula. Instead of adding those numbers, you can just use the formula in order for you to solve the value of or the sum of the given numbers. Now, so Arakan, 1,305 is incorrect. But thank you for your answer. The answer is 1,275. Now, to check that that is correct, balik atras tayo doon sa if n, Suryaga, ano yung answer mo sa n is equal to 10?
Hindi po ko nag-answer.
Sino yung nag-answer ng, si Asali, That is, sige. Now, Asali, no need to answer. Use now the formula to find the value of n is equal to 10. Anybody? Use the formula para makita natin kung talagang correct ang formula. Use the formula in order for you to find the sum if n is equal to 10. Anybody?
Sir, Abdullah
Okay.
po.
Abdullah, what is the answer?
55 po.
Paano ginawa?
Yung formula po, 1/2 of n times n plus 1.
So that is 1/2 of
1/2 of 10 times
Yes.
10 plus 1.
ano? What is 1/2 of 10?
5 po.
5. What is 10 plus 1?
11. 11 times
11
5 is
times 5
55.
is 55. And that is the same as the answer of Asa Ali kanina. That 1 up to 10, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 up to 10 is also equal to 55. So, meaning to say, if we are going to add manually all those numbers, it would give us equal answer if we will just use the formula. And it is quite easier if we will just use the formula because you will just substitute the value of the number of terms. Did you understand? Did you understand? Naintindihan ba?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the core of our discussion now is not about finding the sum. Ano yung n is equals to 10, n equals to 50. It's not, hindi yan yung core ng ating discussion. The core of our discussion is to prove the formula to be correct in order for us to use that formula in solving problems similar to yung binigay ko, yung what is the sum of n equals to 10, n is equal to 50. Yun. So you have to prove first that 1/2 of n times the quantity of n plus 1 could be used as formula in this type of, as the sum of the first consecutive positive integers. And that is mathematical induction. May tanong pa ba tayo? Clarification? Clarification? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tomorrow we'll have the follow-up session. Then we will discuss this sum of positive odd integers.
Guys, I got my Supreme shoes here.
Again, kung hindi ko narinig kanina, tomorrow we'll have the follow-up session and we'll just have the what if it is sum of odd 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 up to uh, n, up to the last possible value of number of terms. Is it equal to n squared? Magiging true ba ang statement na ito? And that would be discussed tomorrow because 10 minutes would not be enough. If there are questions you may ask now before tayo mag-end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, since wala na, volunteer for the screenshot. Sino? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ako lang po, sir.
Sino yan?
Salahuddin po.
Salahuddin. Please post it between 2 to 2:10 ha, Salahuddin. Turn on your cam, please. Recitation for this afternoon. Minyoza, Suryaga, Asaali, Jubay, Abdullah, and Salahuddin.